Young Jock in the Streetz morning takeover. You know, I got the craziest woman ever sitting next to me, Miss Shanika. Yeah,
Okay.
hell yeah. You gonna say what you say, but then I got somebody even crazier sitting next to me. That boy Shawty, he gonna always say what's on their mind. Any given moment, any given Sunday. And today in the building with us, we got a living legend, man, for real, for real. I'm talking about when you talk about the streets, you cannot not mention his name. You know what I'm saying? And when you talk about anything coming out of this side of the world, you cannot not mention his name. In the building with us this morning, ladies and gentlemen, we got the one and only Jeezy.
What up?
Yeah.
Top of the top, baby. Top of the top.
That's right, man.
So you dropped the young.
Yeah.
Just Jeezy.
Yeah, the bank account got grown, so I had tax bracket changed.
Talk that talk, bro.
You know, you can't walk in the bank, I'm Young Jeezy with this type of check. It doesn't go together.
It don't go together.
It's always good to see a familiar face walk through the door.
Yeah, for sure. What's up, sis?
Man, everything this album, Snowfall.
Snowfall. I'm excited. Shout out to DJ Drama. Shout out to Don Cannon.
Hey, that's a beautiful situation right now, too.
Yeah, man. You know what's crazy about it is just we just did the B-side concert. Shout out to everybody that pulled up.
Saw that.
We got to do all the mixtape classics. When we was putting the track listing together, it was crazy, though, because it was so much history.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? In it. So it was therapeutic for me, but at the same time, I was like, damn, bro, like, do you realize we could have been selling this? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But but we was trying to get on, but to come back now and just to be able to do it on the level we on, because it ain't about the money for sure.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's about the people who love what we do together. And I tell people all the time, it's like watching Jordan and Pippen play a one-on-one basketball game in their backyard, just on the love. You know what I mean? It's just fun, And I want to do something for the streets, so it makes sense.
You know what I like about you? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I know it's your show and stuff.
Go ahead.
But this is one thing that I like about you, Jeezy. I like the fact that you and, different people in the industry can go through whatever y'all go through. But at some point, you can always circle back, or, you guys can say whatever the grievances are and work through them.
Right.
And I can appreciate that, because some people like to hold on to, and I mean, it's no secret, you and Drama have been through stuff through the years.
That's crazy, right?
And I haven't seen you since the Verses when you and Gucci, but I just thought it was very big of you, and it says a lot about your character.
For sure, I appreciate that. Well, they always told me that, having a gripe with somebody and holding grudges, it's like trying to poison your enemy, but you're poisoning yourself.
Right.
Because you're getting up every morning, it's heavy on you. You mad, you upset.
Holding on to a hand grenade. You
know what I'm saying?
Gotta get rid of it.
Anytime, you know what I'm saying? Yes. But for me, like even with the drama situation, a lot of people didn't know all that happened. But again, and I said this on the club, it's all about communication.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we just, as black men, we just don't know how to communicate with each other without it being an alpha or, you know what I mean? It's always got to be, hold up, you know what I mean?
You want the last word. You want to look the biggest in the situation.
Right. And, ego.
Right.
But I just let I just stack the paper up, man. Let that be the ego, man. I just, let the ego fall back. You know what I mean? That's your worst enemy, bro.
And even at Versus, Jeezy, you maintained your cool.
Yeah.
You was the same Jeezy. Right. All these antics going on the other side. And I'm like, man, I was feeling like, man, bro got everything against him, but he's standing strong with his feet, man.
Right.
And it may have seemed like that all of that energy was going to prevail, but at the end, dog, you kept your suit on, you did your thing, you stayed and you walked out of there a grown man.
Appreciate it.
Man, I know, bro. I was on the edge of my seat. I heard an oxygen throat go up. I was like, oh, shit.
The whole world was. I think the whole world was at the edge of their seat.
And I told him, though, too, Switz and Timberland need to holler at us, because if you peep the game, they sold Verses right after we did our Verses.
Yeah.
I think that might have been the biggest.
It 9.9 million impressions.
That had to be the biggest, because, I mean, hell, people was throwing Versus parties at the club.
Yo.
Yes. I actually hosted the Versus party
That's
at
crazy.
the club.
That was one of the biggest moments in hip-hop.
Right.
I'm talking about for you guys to come together and perform so icy. And Hey, y'all, I don't know if y'all, I was in Young Jeezy's first video.
Right.
I was,
You was.
Shout you was in a lot of people's videos, boy.
What you
Legendary
was
for
doing
that.
in the video?
Jeezy, first of all, Jeezy and Coach called me to the studio because Jeezy stole my best friend.
Who was your best friend? Blue. Okay.
Shout out to West Side. Blue.
Blue, what it do?
But yeah, so Blue said, Jeezy, why don't you come down there and holler at him, man? And I went to the studio and hollered at Jeezy and his manager, and they was like, yeah, man, we're gonna fly you to Miami.
Yep.
We want you to do the video. It's gonna be hilarious, man. You're gonna get to look a big meet. Everybody gonna be there
It was
in
over,
the video.
It was over here. Over here.
Yeah, get money over here. Yeah, and
I cannot believe you talking to Jeezy with these white ass lips over here. He see them lips.
what,
Can somebody get shot at some Vaseline?
these lips are in honor of the snowman. Don't play no games. Jeezy, my boy, I wore these lips for Jeezy today, boy, to keep the snowman alive.
Why you stupid? So just switching gears right now. Just to switch gears, Jeezy. We are. It's cold outside.
Yes, sir.
It's the fall. The snow will be coming soon. In some places, it has already started to touch down.
Right.
Snowfall, the new album.
Yes, sir.
It's out today.
It's out today, midnight tonight. Snowfall's out. Shout out to DJ Drama. Shout out to everybody that produced on there. It's one of them ones, man. If you've been rocking with me since day one,
Yeah.
you're gonna really appreciate that.
Now, what you saying that I'm pretty sure you have a protocol. It's a way you do what you do. Did you do anything different in putting this project together? Did you stray away from any of your normal antics or protocol?
Well, no, what it was, I've been grinding so long, bro. Like even if you shout out to ESTG, a lot of, everything I said in that verse was how I felt. That was therapeutic for me.
Mm-hmm.
But when I said I got 4 million in cars and nowhere to go, I meant that. Like I haven't been I've been so busy with business, my brands, Nard, Cognac, Defiance Fuel Water, my real estate ventures, Agency 99, my management company, all my things that I kind of got away from, I had to go in the safe and get the chains out, dust the snowman off, see if the cars still start up. I needed that, you know what I'm saying, just for me. And that process was that, I broke the cars out, I went and got the chains, got me a whole, couple packs of black T-shirts,
Say, who the hell is that? I don't know this side of my husband.
Right. I needed that, and making this project was that, being in the studio, just vibing and just kicking it with the up and coming cast, the ESTGs and the 42 Dougs and all the, what I mean? It was just energy, and it was just like, damn, and you need that sometimes because LeBron is always going to be a great basketball player. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Floyd Mayweather's going to always be a great boxer. He's going to do other things in the meantime, but if you get him in the ring, he going to put them paws on your ass. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that's just what he do. And this is what I do. I make real music for real people. And sometimes, you got to go out and live a little bit to come back. But what this project did for me was it also showed me, like we was talking, Miss Shanika, how far I've came.
Okay.
Because when me and Drum put the B-side track listing together, I saw what my mindset was then.
Right.
But I see what my mindset is now. But I'm still grinding like it's pots and O's. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it don't change.
Right though.
Right.
Let's take the new album Snowfall.
Yes, sir.
Drops tonight. Let's stand on the ledge for a minute.
Right.
All right. With what you just said, from then where your mindset was to now where your mindset is, right? It's still music.
Right.
It's still an expression. It's considered an art form. It's also considered life.
Right.
Snowfall, today, the whole concept of freedom of speech, when we start thinking of where you've been, where you've come, in terms of the thought of Atlanta having a DA who's been pushing for the idea of using lyrics to convict or to just apprehend artists who may be speaking of their struggles, who may be speaking of truth in their music, or even if it's just art. Where's your mind at when it comes to that? Because putting this album together, I'm pretty sure a lot of this stuff was starting to happen, and I'm pretty sure you had to just sit back and think, from being the businessman you are, being the cat you are from the streets, and having you got a wife, a kid now. I mean, you've been had kids, but it's a whole new man.
Right.
It's a whole new established man here.
Right. Man.
What's your thoughts on that?
Well, first, I want to be clear because I get where they're coming from, meaning that the up and coming guys do what they do, because I can't be the one to talk, because a lot of what I was talking about when I was doing Trap or Die, what was really happening, I'm just glad we didn't have that DA then.
Hallelujah.
Right.
Because it would have been all bad.
Right.
And I knew that because a lot of the guys around me were saying, yo, why you dry snitching? Why you doing this? Why you doing that? And my thing was, I'm not a carpenter. I can't talk about, fixing I'm not a roofer. I can't talk about fixing houses. I'm not a mechanic. I can't talk about cars, but I know the streets.
Right.
So I tried to talk the best I could in code. You know what I'm saying? So that when they first played, if it's taking too long to lock up, bring it back on the radio, that broke the barrier. You know what I'm saying? I was a disruptor. You don't play that type of stuff on the radio. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it was code, and it's a code that we understood. You know what I'm saying? Being from the streets, why you can talk on your phones and not get caught up, because you know how to talk. You're not going to just blatantly say, come pick this up. Right. You know what I'm saying? But I think where the lines got blurred is I can't speak on, what's going on in the city, but I can say that music is an art form.
Right.
And everything that everybody says isn't true. We know that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I just think that at the end of the day, even if I say something, you still have to prove it. You know what I'm saying?
No,
you can't just take what I'm saying, because if that's the case, everybody dead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because all we doing is spinning. So it's just like, you can't, it's still the court of law. Yeah. And you're innocent until you're proven guilty. Just because I said something, that doesn't mean I done it. You know what I'm saying? But I do think that it has to be a line where you start talking about the difference between art and reality.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I just think, and at the end of the day, it's sad to watch, if I'm honest, because this generation, they're breaking the barrier. They are the LeBrons. We are the Michael Jordans. We look at them like, damn, they making a lot of money, skipping the middleman and doing these type of deals that they're doing and putting the type of artists that they're putting on. So it's just sad to watch, because, just with the situation with Thug, like, just think about how many people are unemployed right now because their train got to stop. Yeah. And then I know Gunna personally. It's a good kid, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Gunna want to do is put on clothes, man. He ain't about to bother nobody. He ain't bother nobody. You know what I'm saying? So it's sad to watch, and whatever comes out of this, I just hope we all learn the lesson, because at the end of the day, I've been in a situation where things happen around me. That don't necessarily mean it was me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And by the grace of God, I was involved in situations like that, but by the grace of God, it just never happened like that for me.
Right.
But I can only imagine if somebody looked at it like that, you wouldn't even have a Jeezy.
Right.
No, definitely.
You feel what I'm saying?
Bro,
I had to ask you that.
We gotta get inside some of this music, because I want to see what you talking about.
Yeah. Let's do that.
So what you want to start off with?
We're gonna start off with that. I ain't gonna hold you with DJ Drama. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into that. No, I do realize my contribution to that, but then that's why I tell people all the time I hate the term OG, because ain't nothing original about gangster, but I do feel like I'm a big homie, because I have trying to give people advice the best that I have, because there's no book that you're gonna get that's gonna break this down. But I do realize that, because it also makes me look like that we fail somewhere as big homies.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That is. On that one, because let me tell you why I'm glad you said that. It is a good question. Where did we fail? Because I'm gonna let's take you for instance. You spoke about it. I remember the first time I heard you and the Boys in the Hood record, but I had already heard your Hard and Soft. That first joint, I had heard it already. So when I heard this new emergence of you, the minute I heard you up until the day, you talked about a lot of, street talk. But one thing the world know about Jeezy, boy, you talked about getting some money. Mm-hmm. You talked about getting some money, and you showed it. And so to piggyback off what you said, where did we go wrong? Because now it's not. I hardly hear anybody cat talking about getting money. It's all take, kill, destroy.
Right. Well, it was because my personal opinion is two things, twofold. The first thing is the way they were raised. this generation. Their mothers were in the club
Right.
with us. Their mothers were living that type of life. It was based off all the money that was around, and so that took a different upbringing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And the second thing I would say, well, three things. The second thing I would say that the internet kind of messed them up because I had to compete with somebody that was on my block. Now you competing with the world, and now you feel like you insignificant because you don't have a Rolls Royce or a Maybach or a bust down, or you can't go on these trips and you ain't putting that shit on. You know what I'm saying? And so now you in a different state. You know what I'm saying? You're more depressed than you are happy because you're competing with the world every day, right? And then at the end of the day, what do you do when you're depressed? And we as black men don't know how to communicate what we feel. What you do? You go to the next thing. So it was weed. Now it's, the depression is deeper. So now you're sipping lean. You know what I mean? And then to go to pills. You're doing everything you got to do to stay numb and to be out here.
Wow.
And it was like for us, that was alcohol.
Yes.
When we was going through it, we was drinking. You know what I'm saying? To be like, because it was, I feel good.
Yeah.
I feel good about myself. And I think the last thing is, and I don't want to get too deep because it's early in the morning.
Go there. No.
A lot of us have a lot of trauma, bro.
Yeah.
A lot of trauma
Yes.
that we don't know how to deal with. And when you hear people talking about therapy and all that stuff now, as a black man, you get defensive. I ain't telling nobody my problems because when you was raised, you cried what your daddy told you. You better stop. You ain't got nothing to cry. You better not.
Right.
And that just makes you...
We're taught to suppress our emotions.
Right. And so imagine if we're taught to suppress our emotions, what we going to teach our kids?
Same thing.
When they going through
Ain't no
something
such thing as emotion.
right, and when they going through something realer than what we going through. I tell my son all the time, boy, your generation is, that's it. Y'all don't want the money.
Yeah. No, they want to go to jail.
Right.
They want to go to jail and they want to shine doing it. They want their 30 minutes of fame.
And the thing is, the reality of it is the alpha male is the one who's more aggressive. The one who's willing to do whatever to get the respect.
To prove his
when
point,
we came from, the alpha male was whoever had that brag,
Got
that
the
bag.
bag, yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's their power. And you think about what they're doing right now, they actually have a lot of power because it ain't based off the bag. Because if I'm about my issue, we're going to get the bag, we're going to take it from somebody. And at the end of the day, it's just like, I feel them. That's why I'm still in this. Because I want to show them what you do when you tend this many years in this and you can still evolve and still be about your issue.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you ain't scared to be like, I'm going to do what I want to do because I don't need no validation, but I'm going to be healthy about it. And when we talked about earlier about going back and fixing relationships, that's a part of healing.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm happy now. I don't walk around. I needed verses.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I need it. I don't,
Come on
I don't
now.
need that. You know what I'm saying? I want to make music from a good place. Like, you know.
So I want to know, who is it? I mean, we've seen the transformation in your life, and it's just very inspiring. I love the fact that I can watch you on social media be in love.
Oh, shit.
Because he wasn't about to be seen with nobody. Like, it was a bunch of guys.
It was a mystery.
And like the homegirls to the side, like we was homegirls, but we wasn't no girlfriends.
Right.
But you can express the fact that you are truly in love.
Right.
So I want to know, this Jeezy today, this brand new music that you're putting out, Snowfall, who are you making music for specifically?
Well, I'm making music specifically for people who are still out here. They're still trying to figure it out. They still need to hear something that's inspiring instead of pushing them deeper down into what they're going through. Because even if I sat down with a billionaire that I had respect for, because I don't have respect for them all, and he explained to me what he went through to get there, then I have a different type of respect for him, not because of his bag, but because he went through some things. If he sit there, like when I sit down and talk to Steve Harvey, and he tell me about the times he slept in cars, I'm like, I ain't never slept in cars since I was on the trap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't imagine that. So what I'm saying is, when you're making this music, it's still people out here like us, and it's even younger cats that want to hear how you done it or how can I do it, because they're not gonna go pick up a book You know what I'm saying? They don't respect their big homies. They're not gonna have this conversation. But their dad told them about you.
Yeah.
And they see what you doing every day. So it's like, well, how you do it? You know what I'm saying? So I think it's therapeutic for us both. Cause it's just like, I want to hear something that I can feel.
What song most represents what you're saying right now on this new album? We want to hear it.
Yes.
All of them, but I got this record this near and dear to me, and you'll appreciate the record too. And I don't think Blue heard it yet, but it's called King's Crown.
Can we hear it now?
We can get it done. Yeah, we'll do King's Crown, and what it is it's talking about how we all kings. You know what I'm saying, and how we all go through this thing together. But then at the end of the day, we taking each other out, and we taking each other's crowns. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you know, it talks about Westside Chris and his little brother, how I watched that. You know, and the only thing he wanted, you know, was to be, you know, a young fly guy. And he got caught up in the wrong thing. But going to his funeral, all he wanted to hear in his hearse was Trap or Die. You know what I'm saying? That cut me deep. But he was a young king. And the reason why I'm saying that is, it's not to preach, it's to say, like, let's not forget who we are. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't forget that. You know, people love Shawty. Yeah. People love Jock. You know what I'm saying? It's people in his life that like, man, we just proud of you, bro.
Right.
But you don't want to see somebody, like, you take Nipsey Hussle, Bankroll Fresh.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, you just take, like, them kings.
Yeah.
It was somebody that loved Bankroll that I never, like, I know Bankroll PJ thought the world of Bankroll.
Yes.
And speaking of that,
you know what I'm saying?
Just Quint, who used to be right there with him, Teresa's son.
Right.
He was just murdered.
16 years old.
Wow.
15.
Right.
15.
And by the way, let me say this, like, even in my music, I've never preached the message of being on the offense. Meaning, like, I'm not out here hunting and looking for my people, but I'm on the defense, though. And that's what any man would do. If a man was in the jungle right now, and a lion jumped out,
anything
he gonna put whatever jump
he
out, he gonna protect his family.
Yes,
he gonna protect his people, and that's always been my approach. I don't know where the message got switched, but you know that's what we got to figure out, because it got switched somewhere to where now I'm looking for you, and he looking for him. And it's just like, in the end of the day, again, I don't want to preach. I just want y'all to get rich.
But sometimes I
just want y'all to live life. I want y'all to be good with everything you got going on. I want you to evolve. I want you to do everything in life that you want to do, because you only get one life and you deserve that.
So I'm glad you said it, because I know you got to go before we close out. I want to put some stats up.
Right.
You named some cats that we all know. You said a Bankroll, Nipsey. People who have people that love them, look up to them, fans that adore them.
Right.
Very short-lived.
Right.
Very short-lived. Let's put some stats up.
Right.
What number album is Snowfall for Jeezy?
Oh, man. I think 10.
And I'm doing this for a reason, for the youngins that's really watching. So, you know.
Now, if you had the mixtape, it might be about 25. But
right. Because, well, let's just say
I say
projects.
About 20 projects.
Let's say 20 projects. Right. And I'm going to say in the sum of at least, 19 to 20 years?
Correct.
2 decades?
Correct.
Like, that's what the American dream's supposed to look like for us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. It's supposed to look like longevity. And it's interesting that, you know, I asked the question about where did we go wrong with the message and the music, as far as it's a whole nother mindset, right? Because now, you know, when we talked about it, when you first hit the scene, it was about living a long time, balling forever.
Right.
And now the moniker is Live Fast, Die Young.
Right.
And I just wanted to make sure that the youngins that's listening to this really get a chance to hear a big homie really talk that talk. So we talk about the fashion, we say put that ish on.
Right.
But right now you talking that ish. And I want to make sure that they really understand that, because even myself, I found other platforms that I'm able to express myself from a big homie sense. You know what I'm saying? With a lot of the interviews that I've been doing. And a lot of people that never, bro, I'm talking about.
I seen you on Vlad. I see you.
It's a lot of people never reached out to me before Jeezy.
Right.
That's calling my phone. I'm like, how you get my number?
Right.
Bro, we'll talk about that later. This is my info, reach out. And I'm like, what the hell? And I'm talking about, and I ain't gonna do no name dropping, but it's amazing that even to see you sit here, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I was already set up as far as with my fiance at the time. I'm gonna marry this woman, right? When I seen you say that this was a real thing and you was engaged, it made me straighten my crown up a little bit more. Like, you know what? That I'm going in the right direction. I was married before, but I was married really young. You know what I'm saying? I married at 23,
Yeah, you got some
12 years, and I had a lot of living to do. And this time I said, I got to get it right. So it's an inspiration, bro. I just want to tell you that because there's a lot of aspiring people, not just artists and young cats, people, period, from men and women who look up to cats like you. And I'm glad that your stats are being put on the board and you're able to get your flowers and you're able to be here in the now, in the present, and receive these flowers, bro. So, G's, I want to take the time to say for Young Jock in the Streets, want to take over, bro. We salute you wholeheartedly, man. We appreciate the game over the years, the efforts that you put forth on the scene with the music. And I just want to say, keep going. No matter what else. You name some of the new endeavors and ventures you got. If you could, man, just let the world know what it is that you want to let them know before you get out of here, man.
Oh, man. You want to say something, Shawty?
Yeah, man. I want to thank you, Jeezy, because Jeezy has taken me on the road with him, taken me to Miami, balled out. I mean, from the beginning, I was in the first video. It's always been solid. Put me on.
You better cry.
And I'm finna to because Jeezy, I'm engaged, bro, and I'm happy to see you married.
Right.
And you know, I come a long way, and I'm engaged to a beautiful woman.
Wow.
And you have a big part in that.
Wow.
Because I met her while we was on the road in Birmingham.
Wow.
At that show in Birmingham when we came through the back, when I met y'all at the hotel, and me and Blue was sitting in the VIP while you was performing.
That's
and
all.
Blue was like, holla at that girl right there for me, man. Get her. And I tapped my fiance. He like, nah, her the other one. And so I said, well, I already got her attention. I said, hey, what's your name? And yes, we're a beautiful family, man.
Man,
I hope this story help you sell more records. Thank you. That was a beautiful one. That was so beautiful.
you know, Shanika, she's one of us. She's one of the boys.
She's one of the fellas.
First of all, he knows that because
of course,
it's found.
Right.
But you ain't say nobody had love me. You was like they love Shawty. You was like they love Jock. You ain't say they love me. So I kind of felt away.
Okay.
Then you didn't name every morning show that's on the radio.
I did.
We're going to edit them out. We're going to edit them out.
You know we're going to have to edit
But
something.
when you hear Blue, he's not cursing.
It's
I
love.
just did 1,000 drops back there. A whole 9 paragraphs for the morning show
Thank
up here.
you.
Young Jock and Streetz morning. I promise you I did.
We know you
But
about
we
it.
love you and we are so proud of you.
Yes.
Y'all make sure y'all go get my bro album,
Yes.
Snowfall,
Yes.
download it.
Download.
You know what, some people still go DBS Sound to get CDs, right?
I didn't even know they still sell CDs.
You know they busted the flea market over there on Old National.
How much they get some?
They got $1 billion worth of yes, and they got
Straight up?
they got Shanika dressing at the tractor place.
It's gonna be a lot of people not putting that shit on for a minute.
And she's the first one. She'll be in a cowboy hat and a.
Hey, yo, man, listen, before I get out of here, man, Snowfall out right now. Everywhere, go get it. Man, shout out to you, man. I love to see this group of people, man. This is great, because I know all y'all from different walks of life.
Right.
But to see y'all in one room, man, this is dope, bro. I'm really proud of y'all.
Man, it's love.
Continue
We
to do what y'all do,
Yeah.
brother. Salute. ATL, I'm in the streets all weekend. Pull up on me.
Right.
Hey.
Hey, man, again, y'all make sure y'all go get that. Snowfall is out today. We appreciate you, Jeezy. It's love. Keep it right here where you got it, baby. Young Jock in the Streets, more than Takeover.